Okay, now that we were get back into the header here, so we left off on alert bar and moving on to the logo. So in that logo panel now, you're going to want to go ahead and upload your image, and that will be as simply as right now it'll say load image when you get there the first time, and go ahead and load that file up. We recommend a file, especially if you're going to be have users with a lot of retina screens, that you upload a logo about twice the size that you want it to be. Typically, if the logo is going to be 150, you're going to want it to be about 300 pixels wide, or even larger, and then you can actually set the width of it here. So in this situation right now, currently our logo is 150. Say we want to make it 250. You just go ahead and click on it, and we've made a file that's plenty big to accommodate these kinds of changes. Now you're going to see that obviously that makes it not fit perfectly. So what we can do now is go ahead and change the margins on top and bottom of that logo to, let's just go ahead and take this one up to maybe 15. And you'll see that that spacing then is going to come in underneath it, and it's nice and consistent. And it might even be that they're dead equal. Sometimes you're going to run into situations where that padding is not identical because either the shape of your logo or the fact of where you have your navigation running. And so sometimes there may be a need to move those kinds of things around. So real straightforward, real simple. Now, if you have a sticky menu set, this one currently is, and so you'll see that we want to drop the logo once you roll past a certain place, scroll past a certain part of the page. So you can also set then the parameter for that width. And so you'll see that that's how it changes above. So maybe we don't want it to move quite down to 100, but let's make it move down 50 points or pixels, so that way when I scroll up, let's wait till it refreshes. There we go. And now you see what that's going to cause too sometimes is you're going to have to make alignment adjustments to your other menus and stuff as you do that. And those are little styling things that you'll want to adjust on the site to make it your own and dial it in. So all the other things that are available in here is you can also set then the amount of padding that's around the logo. If you're using a logo, if you don't have a logo and you just want to have text up there like a lot of blogs, you can actually override the logo with a piece of text. So we could actually type in TRESS right here, and you'll see that in a second it will do that. And then what we need to do is we would be removing the logo and the word TRESS would show up there. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And you'll see that in its space, the word TRESS is there. Now you want to capitalize it and then maybe adjust the actual size of the font that it's in. And that's right down here. So let's just make it a 45. And you'll see that as you move back up the page, there's that piece of text. Now, obviously, we haven't adjusted all the spacing parameters, but it's real quick and simple with what's above there to do so. So that also brings us to the nav bar, which is exactly the same in control. What you're going to do is actually set up the amount of padding above it and below it. And then each individual link can also be padded as well. So in different situations where you want a large amount of rollover space around it, you can do that. And you can also set in that parameter whether you want it to be no hover indicator. Some situations you may not want any kind of indicator in the bar. You may just want it to be that the text changes color. But then we've also included two for you. One with a border, which will, once it refreshes here, you'll see that it brings up just a sleek, nice little thing, and you've got control over that color. Say you want those to be red. You simply wait for it to refresh, and when you move your mouse, you'll see that those change to red. Now, obviously, we need to do some adjustments because of the demo to these font colors, but those are things that we'll cover on further detail in other tutorials. So, and then also here, if you wanted to fill instead of the border or no hover, you just click fill, which was the original state that we had it in, and you'll see that it now boxes out that entire area. And you can set the parameters on that box by deciding how much padding around each individual link that you want in that group. Also, too, in navigation, you can have the ability to set shapes and background images just like any other thing that you might do. And so these are some also of those parameters where you're going to be putting in the actual URL of the image that you're using. So, and then just like every other place on the website, you've got ability to change the font size and then also the spacing and line height. So there you go. That's the basics of logo and nav bar. And we will move on to the next tutorial.